everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, with deck number 55, we are recording live from the Mana Vault. It's the new name that was a lot of y'all picked out. Everybody seemed to like. I love it. And thank you to patron, I believe, Jake, who was the one who proposed it. Anyway, we are here talking about Purphoros the Bronze-Blooded. Now, before we get into that, though, this is the first. Once I get done with the deck, I'll show you what's been done with the room. The sound may be a little different because we've moved all the way across the room, and I've got to tweak this setup. But you know, I learned by iteration. So anyway, Purphoros, Bronze-Blooded, 5 mana, 7/6, indestructible god, of course. Not a creature, devotion 5. Now, your other creatures have haste. That's pretty sweet, but it sets up for that last ability. For 3 mana, you can put a red creature card or an artifact creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, and you sack it at the beginning of the end step. Now, that's what they call this, the sneak attack Purphoros. 3 mana is a little more than 1, but anyway. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, we do got to read the fact that it does say red creature, artifact creature, so we can't cheat out the Eldrazi. It is what it is, you know. So, but there are ways that we can work this to where we actually get to keep the creatures. The big one is Cauldron of Souls. You know, maybe we pay out enough mana to get 2 or 3 creatures out of our hands, and we want to keep them, you know. We get them out there, and they're cheap, and we bash with them, and Cauldron of Souls gives them all persist, and then they just come back. You know, yeah, they're a little smaller, but that's fine. Also, we have Sundial of the Infinite. Now, since Purphoros' trigger happens at the end of turn, you just end it. As soon as you get done with your combat, once you're done casting spells and stuff, you just, boop, done, turn's over. So you never actually go through the end of turn step, and that ability don't trigger, and you just get to keep them. Yay. Now, since we are running Sundial of the Infinite, I thought it would be kind of cool, you know, run the Final Fortune for the same reason, you know, we don't lose at the end of that turn if we just end that turn with the Sundial. Now, you got to be careful, though, because if somebody's got some artifact removal and they wait till you cast your Final Fortune and hit your Sundial, well, we're a red mage, right? We're living on the edge. Anyway, let's look at... This is not a dragon deck, but I'll be dang if there's not... What is this, 10 dragons? Yeah. It could very easily be a dragon deck. Because I was looking for the biggest, most obscene creatures I could find that were either red or artifact. So that's what I did. And Dragon Tyrant, you know, 10 mana, you know, Flying Trample, Double Strike. Yeah, you got to pay 4, but in theory here, we don't have to keep it if we don't want it. You know what I'm saying? He can just come in, do a 12, or Fire Breathe Away, whatever, you know. Ancient Hellkite. Another big mana 6/6 flyer. Crimson Hellkite. It don't get a lot of love because it is 9 mana, but it's quite literally a fireball on a body. A reusable fireball. Well, target creature. We have Drakuseth. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful dragon. Now, Terror of Mount Velus is from the color decks, the color packs, for the theme decks, theme packs, theme boosters. I knew I'd get there eventually, but yeah, creatures you can control gain double strike. So this would be the last one of, you know, if we were doing 3 or 4 creatures out from our hand, this would be the last one that you would do. They give them all double strike. Yay. I didn't, like I said, I wasn't intending it to be a dragon deck, but once I had picked all the other dragons, Udvar Hellkite was kind of, you know, kind of where I wanted to be. Mordant Dragon, Dragon Mage. This is what I'm talking about. Deals combat damage to a player. Everybody discards their hand, draws 7. Yeah, that fuels us up with more creatures to bash with. Horde Smelter Dragon's in there more for the eating of the artifacts than it is, anything else. Killmouth Dragon, Amplify. If you've got some other dragons in your hand, this is a beating. Now, before we get to the non-dragon creatures, let's look at some other stuff here. Hey, let's go ramp, shall we? Soul Ring. Well, Heartstone may not be ramp, but I've got it in that category simply because it's going to reduce Purphoros' activation. Now, you've already seen a couple of those dragons have activations too, so that gets, a little better. But this way, there's a world of difference in a 2-mana activation and a 3-mana activation. Especially when you're looking at your hand and you're like, well, I can, throw out 4 creatures, or now I can do whatever. So, Urgolem's Eye, Star Compass, Spectral Searchlight, Seer's Lantern, Heraldic Banner, Hedron Crawler, Altar of the Pantheon, and Walking Atlas, of course, to just keep dropping more lands in play. That feels like a whole lot, but let's face it, there are going to come times where we are hard casting these big old creatures. So we have to be prepared to do that at some point in time. Okay, let's get back to the rest of the creatures, shall we? Colossus of Sardia. Yeah, I know. It's a 9/9 and tramples and all the fun stuff. But I'm telling you, yes, I'll look for decks to play this card in. I do. Just kind of like the Phyrexian Colossus. Here again, these are ones you can probably just let go. Or maybe you attack with them and then fling them. You know what I'm saying? Now, Hamletback Goliath is a creature that you want to keep, obviously. Because this is nuts. You get the Hamletback out there, and then you get online with your Purphoros and just start dropping these big old creatures, and all the counters get put on the Goliath there. It's insane. Avatar Slaughter's a big beater. Yeah, all creatures have double strike. Woo! The Mirror Battlesphere, the Mirror Ball. It's going to bring the mirrors to the yard, and to win it, even if it dies, you've still got the mirror left behind. Bloodfire Colossus. I come real close to building a Colossus deck with this. Now, Avatar of Fury, I want to talk about this card. Why are we not? Yes, this printing was in the very first Commander in 2011. But if an opponent controls 7 or more lands, which happens like every single game in Commander, it happens, right? Then this thing only costs 2. Would you pay 2 mana for a 6/6 fire-breathing flyer? Well, yeah, we all would. I don't understand why this card doesn't see more play. Tyrant of Discord. Burning Sun's Avatar, mainly in there for, the damage. Inferno Titan. Magus of the Arena. Let's talk about the Magus here, because that's exactly what it is. This is removal. This is repeatable removal. That's exactly what it is. Because you don't have to put the actual Magus in the arena. You can choose one of your other big giant things. So, hey, Purphoros is indestructible. Why not? If he's turned on. A Siege Gang Commander. He can come into play and bring some goblins. Bold Were Intimidator. Is that not the best line in all of Magic? Cowards can't block warriors. What? That's outstanding. I love that card. Ox of Agonis. When it enters the battlefield, discard your hand, draw 3 cards. Now, obviously, we're in mono red. We're probably not going to have a hand. So, we're just going to kind of discard nothing and draw 3. That's the plan anyway, right? And when it dies, you get to escape the thing. Yes, it's 8 other cards, but let's face it, we're probably putting cards in our yard, right? Especially if we draw the Bear of Heavens. Now, the Bear of Heavens is the panic button. I'll admit that's exactly what it is. Destroy all other permanents. Now, granted, Purphoros is indestructible. Yes, I very well could have gone the Colossus route and, packed it full of indestructible 10-10s or 11-11s, but this is the panic button. It's Mono Red's version of the Cyclonic Rift, right? I mean, you've got Purphoros out there, and all of a sudden somebody's, all right, I'm just gonna spend 3 mana and put the bear out there. When you're done, it's all done, right? Okie dokie. What's next? Let's look at. Yeah, I've got Elemental Mastery in there just because, well, I think it's funny, and here it's good because we have a lot of large creatures. So, I mean, you tap it, you get the creature's power worth of 1/1 elementals. Yeah, they died into turn, but you know what? If we're sundialing, we get to keep those jokers too. Experimental Frenzy. We're going to get into the quote-unquote card draw here. So, Experimental Frenzy. You can look at the top card of your library at any time. You can play the top card of your library, but you can't play cards from your hand. Now, here's the thing. Once you've got your mana set up and your Purphoros, this does not say you can't play your commander. So you can still play your commander. You just can't play lands or stuff like that. But yeah, we're not casting creatures. We are activating Purphoros' ability, so that kind of gets around that. And it feeds us a little more cards. Fires of Invention. You don't see these 2 cards in the same deck a lot. And yeah, maybe I understand why. But you can only cast spells on your turn, and you can cast no more than 2 spells each turn. And then, we all know how the card works. You can cast spells with CMC equal to the number of lands you control without paying their mana cost. So it just lets you double drop big guys, essentially. Not really mana accelerant, and not really, yeah. But let's look at some card draw. Sandstone Oracle. Here again, this is it's a good card, but when we're paying 3 mana for it, possibly 2, it's a great card. Now, Corvus Fury. See a lot of foes at the table. I don't know. There are circumstances where you could use this to your advantage politically, But then we have a typical red suite of draw, Thrill of Possibility, Tormenting Voice, Cathartic Reunion, Faithless Looting, all of which, key to this, or Bag of Holding. So all those cards you're discarding, you can get back. Yeah, and this is an actual draw and discard engine in itself, as well as Key to the City. I almost messed that up. But that just makes one of your creatures unblockable. So, that's... And, if you've got the 2 to pay, it can draw you a few cards. Let's look at some quick removal. I've tried to use creature removal whenever possible, like Flame Tongue Kavu. Because you can get it in for 3. Yeah, that's not a whole lot of savings, but the instant speed kind of helps. Ravenous Baboons. Meteor Golem. But then we've got the normal, Red Elemental Blast, Pyroclasm, Shattering Pulse, Biforce, Sulphurous Blast. And that's right, that's an active volcano. Now, the active volcano is not as good as the REB because it doesn't, it says destroy target blue permanent or bounce an island. Yeah, okay. We've got Granite Grip. We are playing mono red, right? Granite Grip and Claws of Valakut are just in there. Warstorm Surge. Warstorm Surge is a great card, especially when we're dropping big guys really cheap. It kind of gets the double damage thing. And our last non-land card, is Warp World. Because let's be honest with you, if we have this many big beaters in our deck, and there's a possibility that we can get, overrun or, but the Warp World, the ability to flip up as many creatures as we've got, man, that's big. So our non-basic lands, to Memorial to War, to kind of deal with those troublesome lands, Rogue's Passage, Smoldering Crater for the cycle, and Endless Sands, just to be able to keep those. Now, Safe Haven's another card, but I didn't have a copy of Safe Haven. Endless Sands, I had the virtue of owning a copy. But Endless Sands, great card to, squirrel those creatures away under the sand, and then you can get them back. And that is it. That's what I've got for Purphoros. So let's get Purphoros. I'm really excited to play this one, actually. Haven't had a chance to play it yet, so I didn't have enough mountains to go like all the way. I think I'm playing with 4 or 5 regular mountains, but let's get my mirror token in there. Oh, I need to get the dragon tokens too for the Utvara. Well, there we go. We are, as I said, we are all the way over on the other side of the room. I guess, here, let's turn the chair this way. Built a new chair, obviously, by the way. So, wow, it's actually a really long way over there now. So that is deck number 551, starting a new row. Now you can kind of see the wall a little better, getting all of its length, well, except for my chair there. But that's what we've got. Started. I guess you can see the boxes on the table and stuff. I've started sorting my bulk, which is actually, come to find out, a lot of it's not bulk. I think I ran out of Tainted Strikes, I don't know, months ago. But I was looking through some of my just unsorted random boxes that, from back in the day where you just shove stuff in boxes. And I think I found about 10 or 15 Tainted Strikes. Anyway, I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. I know one issue right now that I know I'm aware of is right here, I'm a little dark. Yeah. I haven't moved my lighting setup yet. We've been painting. Everything's black to try to reduce the glare as much as possible. So, I appreciate you watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.